Are you tired of not knowing which cards to swap out in your EDH deck? Well, you're in luck, because today we're going to cover just that with a method that not only saves you time, but money. So without further ado, have you sit back, relax, and let's get into it. Welcome back, folks. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for dropping by and your ongoing support. My name is Patrick, host of the EDH Brutality YouTube page, and we should upload Magic the Gathering content every Wednesday and Sunday. Today we've got quite the useful video for all you deck builders. But before we get into that, a quick and special thanks to patrons like you for making videos like this possible. And of course, if you are looking to join my Patreon page to get the most out of all things metal in Magic, link will be provided down in the description below. So with that said, let's just jump right into the video. And of course, it's no secret when making swaps to your EDH deck, it takes a lot of time. And not just that, but it is a delicate matter. Because let's face it, with Commander being a 100 card singleton format, it's not too hard to screw things up. For most, this can be overwhelming. So we'll be utilizing a specific tool over on Moxfield, mentioned several times previously on this channel. And that happens to be the tagging system. So heading on over to Moxfield here, we have my Aisha Tanaka banding deck, of course in the pre-modern format, and as you can see, it's a typical deck. We've got creatures, sorceries, instants, artifacts, and enchantments with lands. But of course, this really doesn't tell me too much off the bat, so I went above and beyond here, and I listed each and every card with tags. So once I hit enable tags, you can see how the deck is broken down. We have 4 permanents, or just 4 spells I should say, that have to do with anthem effects. We've got 21 banders in the deck. We've got our card draw package, creatures we want to band with, as well as our pump spells and ramp spells, and miscellaneous effects. So this is my bread and butter whenever I see a new card that I want to include, because as you can see, it highlights each and every card that has a specific function. This is where many Magic the Gathering deck builders simply go wrong, because whenever attempting to trim the fat of a deck, most look at individual cards rather than play styles. Let me explain. Back over on our Moxfield deck list, you can see on my Considering tab are all potential includes for this set deck. Of course, looking at a generalized list, I might not know on which cards to swap out other than through trial and error. But there is a way to fast track this through tags. If we scroll on up here, you can see what the deck is primarily built around, and as you can see, we have 10 spells all based around pumping, which, quite open and honestly, is quite a lot. So I could probably right off the bat get rid of several of these. So what I would then focus on is this section alone, and then I would narrow it down to the worst spells of the lots and reevaluate from there. Typically looking at mana cost, whether it's 2 pips or 1, as well as the speed of the spell. So right off the bat, we can see Warrior's Charge, rather expensive, it's rather slow, I can't use it on opponent's turns, so I am going to get rid of it. This is going to free up a slot. Now, of course, typically people would remove it. I do not. I move it to the sideboard. The reason being is if I take a few of these cards and move them to the sideboard, at least the ones that I do not want, if I do not enjoy the changes I have made, well, I don't need to go searching back through my cards or even the history of removed cards. All I need to do is scroll down in the right back here. And if you want to just re-add, you would click and select move back to main deck. The beauty of this is, let's say you do have a new card that you do want to try out. Let's say it's card draw, right? I would come up here and I would just simply type in card draw for this new edition, and I would move it back once again to my main deck. Now, where did this go? It went right up here, moved to main deck, right? We just added it, and I go up to none other than my card draw section, and see, I now have 14 spells. So then I can make the decision, do I want to keep 14 spells? If I do get rid of, let's say, a Howling Mine, a card draw contender, and move that to my sideboard, and I want to add another card draw effect, I can ensure that although I am swapping out effects, the amount of spells I have designated to that specific task remain the same. I may then repeat this process as I did with the pump spells, getting rid of the least effective cards in place for better ones, as I look at things objectively rather than sentimentally. And once I am done with my changes, I can see every single card that is now being replaced, so when I do eventually receive those new cards in the mail, I know what to take out of my brew to avoid any confusion. If, however, you want to take things a step further, feel free to go ahead and write down each and every change as well as the reasoning behind it, because there's several times where it may work in your head, but when you write it down on paper, it no longer makes much sense. I typically share these changelogs with my closest friends to get their opinions as well as any AI chatbot, just to make sure I dot my I's and cross my T's. But I feel if you do have these extra measures, not only will the changes be more fulfilling, but they'll be better thought out, meaning less swaps, more playtime, and better brews. Lastly, I do suggest that whenever you do make a change, whether it's on Moxfield or another deck building website, that you always goldfish, meaning play the deck with its new cards before making any purchase. Now, unfortunately, there is an exception here, and that's if you're adding lots of interactive pieces or stacks pieces. You truly won't know just based off goldfishing, but if you take your time, play it out, and write down your findings, I can assure you, you will be much happier with the changes in the end. So, do you agree with my take? I really do enjoy making videos like this, even if that only helps one or two players along the way. I myself was always struggling building decks in the early days of my Magic the Gathering journey, and I gotta be honest, it was quite rough. What I will say, however, is to try to avoid more people from experiencing that. If this video does well, maybe I'll make a video giving tips on how you go about starting an EDH deck from scratch. But until then, if you want to stay tuned for future videos here in the channel, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the notification down in the bottom right hand corner of your screen. So with that, my name is Patrick, host of EDH Brutality. I thank you for watching, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out, guys. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's so dry in here. The things I do for you guys. My goodness. Go like this video and watch these two. I need some water. Oh gosh. Yeah, bye.